Okay, in this video we're going to show you how to move the front and rear wheel to their proper location. So once again, make sure you have your working drawing in front of you, and as always have a ruler handy. First thing I want to show you is that if I click on any part of this rear wheel, I'll click right here on the edge, you'll notice both the wheel in the top view and the front view are both selected. Same thing if I click on the front wheel, both the wheel in the front view and the top view are selected. Basically, these wheels are grouped together. So as I click and drag the wheel in the front view, it also moves with it in the top view. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with your rear wheel. I'm going to zoom in really close here, and I would recommend you do the same. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this center line here of my axle right here on this back edge. Here's how I'm going to do that. With my left mouse button, just click on any part of the outer edge of that wheel, being careful not to click on something like the axle line or possibly this green line. So once again, click on the edge of the wheel, and you'll notice other parts of the wheel get selected because they're also grouped together. And you can either grab the center of the wheel, which is the center line that you see here, or this outer edge. It really doesn't matter. And you're going to drag the wheel back along that axle line and place it right here on the back of the car. Now, pay close attention to where you just placed it. I'm going to move in, zoom in just a little bit closer. Make sure you didn't accidentally move it up a millimeter, maybe down, maybe make sure you didn't move it off the back of the car, maybe it's too far forward. So make sure that center line is perfectly aligned with this green line and the axle line. Okay? Now, what you can pay close attention to is this window down here where it says measurements. I'm actually going to grab the wheel again, move it in the direction I want to move the wheel, type in a number, and that number will appear here, and then I'm actually going to hit enter. Okay? So, once again, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to go ahead now and grab the wheel. Once again, be careful what you're grabbing onto. As long as it's any part of the wheel that you can see here that's selected, that's fine. I can grab the center, I can even grab this edge, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to click and drag the wheel in the direction I want to move. Just move a little bit, you don't have to move too far. Let go of your left mouse button now. So you're basically going to place the wheel here temporarily. Type in the number that you see on your sheet. Mine happens to be 45. You can see that number appear at the bottom of your screen. That's the distance from the back of the car to the rear axle. And I'm now going to hit enter. Okay, you can now see that this wheel moved to the proper location. When in doubt, you can always use the dimension tool to make sure that it is correct. So I can go ahead and click, for example, back here, all the way in the back, click once, move to the center, and without even having to click, I can just use this tool to check my work. Okay? Now, I can get out of this tool just by hitting the escape key on my keyboard, and I know that that wheel is where it should be according to my drawing. Okay, let me zoom out again. We're going to do the same thing now with your front wheel. So once again, the select tool is what we always want to move to what we want to use to select an object. Let me click once on the front wheel, and once again I can grab it from the edge, I can grab it from the center. I'm just going to move it back here again. I'm going to zoom in to make sure things are the way they should be. I'm going to place it right here for now. Looks like I'm a little off, so I'm going to zoom in. Once again, grab it from the center of the wheel, from the axle. Let me place it there just for right now. Now here's where you have to do some math. You're going to notice that the way we made our dimensions on your drawing, we have the distance from the back of the car to the rear wheel, and then we have a number that tells us the distance from the rear wheel to the front wheel. So on a Windows machine, you can very easily click on the Start option, type in CA, and you'll immediately see the calculator. And so you want to make sure that you add these two numbers up accordingly. Okay, either do it in your head, do it on your smart device, or use the Windows calculator. Well, first of all, I know the distance from the back of my car to my rear wheel was 45. And then I have a number here, which was actually from the rear wheel to the front axle. That number on my drawing was 135. That was actually specification A4. Now let me add 135 to this number. Oops, let me try that again. 45 plus 135 equals 180. So I want a total distance from the back of the car to the front wheel is a total of 180 millimeters. Okay, so once again, same thing as before. I'm going to go ahead and click once on the wheel. I can really click on any part, doesn't matter if I grab it from the center or from the edge. I'll grab it from the center this time. Just make sure you click and drag and you're moving it in the direction that you want the wheel to be moved. I don't have to move it too far. I'm going to let go now. And once again, I'm going to type in that number. You'll see it appear at the bottom of my screen, 180. I'm going to hit enter. And you can see here that I have moved my front wheel. Now, once again, check your work. The specification that might help you here is A4. A4 is the distance from your rear axle to your front axle, and you can see that's 135. And we've already checked the dimension from the back of the car to the rear wheel. So everything here looks great. So go ahead and save your work. And in the next video, we'll talk about drawing the outline of your car. Good job.